Techyarmy, this is Techie just coming at ya with my 11th Q&A. And first off, I want to let you guys know that though it's not going to be up, I said it was going to be up today, I've been working on it. I want it to be perfect. But I have my prints. Woo! I gotta sign them all and get them all ready. Obviously, I'm just going to, like, for example, on this one here, I will just put the signature here. And then leave room for whatever you guys want me to say below it. So whether it's Techie David is awesome or Techie Sally is awesome, let me know what you guys want me to say when you place the order through Etsy, and I will definitely personalize them for you guys so you know that that is your personal print. And also, I wanted to ask you guys, I actually got... somebody told me that this was a good idea or I should do it. I don't know if it is, so I'm asking my Techyarmy to let me know what they think about it. But a couple people were saying you should number them in the corner to say what number print it is. So it's like, I got the 2nd edition, I got the 14th edition of this print, just to see how many I do sell and whatnot. If you guys are interested in me doing that, let me know. If not, that is totally cool also. I'm totally fine without doing that. And I'll let you guys decide that. So without further ado, let's get into my 11th Q&A.
Will you ever have a future portrait business?
This is actually a really good question, guys. I would like to have a business like that. As of now, I do commissions, so I do have people contacting me from on a day-to-day basis, asking me to draw them something. And if they just say, can you draw me something, I send them a message with my pricing and all that for doing drawings. And the issue I'm having with right now is that people don't seem to want to pay for a drawing. They just feel that it should be a free service, that it doesn't really deserve money, which I think is a load of baloney, because me being an artist, I'm going to school to make a profession out of being an artist. And then when people come at you and say, well, no, I wanted it for free, it's in a way, it's kind of insulting for me, just because I do spend so long on drawings and it's something I want to do with my life. And so for someone to say that to me, it hurts a little bit. It does hurt, that you would not pay for a drawing. But anyway, I want to in the future, but as of right now, I'm charging about $20 a drawing, for an avatar, just for an avatar picture. Because if you guys don't know, here minimum wage is $10.50 an hour, so that's about 4 hours. You're getting 4 hours worth of work for half of what it would cost working for me here if I worked at a grocery store, let's just say. So for me, I feel that that's a huge deal, especially since that's for you guys. That's YouTube pricing, because I do commissions on my own and I charge a lot more than that. Because what you guys don't know is there's a difference between partial rights and full rights. And partial rights to an image means that you can use it for your own stuff. So let's just say you bought a whole bunch of blank t-shirts and you wanted to do iron-on designs or whatever. You could put that design that I did for you for $20. You could put that on all your own stuff. But if you were to go sell it and put it in your own store and other people buy it, that's no longer partial rights, guys. That's full rights. Full rights means that you are buying the rights to that image and it is legally yours. And for that, it's a lot more money than that. And people aren't willing to pay that, especially people on YouTube, because a lot of my audience is younger. So for right now, it's just a little bit difficult to actually get a store going in that regards. But I would like to in the future for sure. Just know that there is a difference and that there are artists in the world that make a living with their drawings. And it's a little bit insulting when somebody comes at you and really, really lowballs an estimate or lowballs just want something for free, because we have to work and do that, guys. And especially for someone like me that does YouTube videos and stuff, I barely have enough time to do my own commissions, never mind YouTube commissions, that I'm doing at a fraction of what it would cost somebody else to get it. So hopefully you guys take that into consideration. If you are interested in a commission, PM me or email me at techyjustdoodles@gmail.com. Be a little thing here, it pops up for you guys, and I will get back to you ASAP with my pricings and my listings and whatnot of what you want. And it all depends on what you guys want personally for a business thing. If you're doing it as a logo, obviously that's going to be to make your company money, so you have to buy the rights to that logo. It is no longer mine. I still did draw it, and I have the right to put that in a portfolio piece, but I cannot legally say you cannot put that on certain things. That's how that works. So hopefully that answers that question there, and I hope one day I will be successful enough to actually have a business like that where people are going to be willing to pay for me to do things like that for them. That would be so cool.
Why do you have buttons in your intro video?
My intro movie, I have buttons on it because, well, you guys probably don't know that, but I love buttons, and a lot of my own pieces, my own work, not necessarily celebrities and stuff like that, I have buttons in replacing their eyes, and I've done that ever since I was little. It's just something that I find fascinating. I guess it started off with stuffed animals I had that had buttons as eyes, but I think it's a really cool way to replace eyes. So I do that a lot in my work. So for me, buttons are cool on their own. And actually, I've been working on a website. I know it's not up yet. I'm having a hard time getting it the way I want it. I don't want to put it out and it not be ready. And I haven't had a lot of time to put further work into it. But my buttons, like my actual buttons that goes to like home, headphone information, stuff like that, they're all buttons that I made myself, that I designed, and those are the buttons that are in the video. So I tried to keep everything in like a certain order or a certain look about me, because I feel that that's more professional when everything is in it kind of looks the same. It's in relation rather than having a random page and then a random page, because then your eyes don't flow between each thing and you're not familiar with what you're looking at. So that's why I have buttons in my intro.
Can jailbreaking damage your device?
Jailbreaking, I don't believe so, can damage your device. Obviously, you do it at your own risk. Some things can change. You will lose data. For sure, you will lose music, you will lose pictures and stuff like that. So it's very important to have everything backed up. But I don't think that jailbreaking would damage your device internally, because Apple has this awesome thing where you just plug in your iPod or your iPhone and it restores it. You can restore it back to factory settings. So I don't believe that you can really damage it unless you do something really horribly wrong. But jailbreaking now is fairly simple, especially on the Mac. I don't know about PC jailbreaking, but it's fairly simple from what I can understand. So it'd be difficult to screw it up so bad that you would actually destroy your device. So I'm going to have to say, yes, it's possible, I guess, but it's very difficult to do so. As long as you follow the instructions, you should be okay. What camera would you use for YouTube and good photos that's under $1,500? This is a hard question because I'm a camera junkie. I love cameras. Every time I go into Best Buy or Future Shop, that's the first place I go. And you would automatically think it would go to headphones. That's my second stop, guys. My first stop is cameras. I absolutely adore cameras, whether it be pocket camcorders, just little point and shoots, to DSLRs, and obviously I drool over DSLRs. For YouTube, it really depends on what you're using them for. A lot of companies now are using all-in-one DSLRs with fancy lenses and stuff for filming, for 1080p videoing, and that is cool because you get the best of both worlds. You get camera capability as well as 1080p video. But if you're a YouTuber that like Larry Greenberg or like Uncle Tone 99, and they just do, or even that snazzy iPhone guy, they do videos where their product is below the camera, which is very difficult to do, by the way. I used to do it that way, and it took a lot more work than what I do now in terms of filming. But if you do stuff like that, it's better to get a handy cam, like a Sony Handycam. You can get, I'm a big fan of Sony in terms of cameras and whatnot. And those cameras are well under $1,500. You can get a really good camera for about $600 if you get a Handycam, and it will be worth it because the autofocus is huge if you're planning on doing reviews and stuff like that. If you're planning on doing video production, it depends on how in-depth you want to get and how what you're filming. Really, it depends on what you need the camera for. If you're using really, really big, you're starting off big, you want to go with big things, which is difficult on YouTube. If you're just starting, I wouldn't recommend going all out and getting an awesome camera for video production, but it really depends, again, on what you're using it for. If you're doing big films, obviously you need a better camera with a wider angle lens. You need a higher quality camera. Whereas if you're just filming stuff like I use, obviously your videos are going to be better with a DSLR. I use a Sony NEX5 and I love that camera. I got that camera at $500. It was $200 on sale, and I jumped on that like freaking you don't know how fast. I ran to the store and picked up that camera because I've been looking at it for a long time. But if I had to pick one camera for myself under $1,500, it would be the Sony NEX7, because that camera, I do believe is $1,300 or $1,400 around there. And it has 24 megapixels. It shoots the best 1080p video I've seen coming out of a DSLR so far, unless you go into the high range Canon cameras, and it even strongly competes there. It is significantly bigger than the Sony NEX5. It just looks like a beautiful camera. So that would be the camera I would buy. If you could do one last thing before you die, what would it be? One last thing before I die, it would have to just be a normal day. It would have to be a day where I appreciate everything I have in my life. Rather than, I know a lot of people would say, well, why don't you go skydiving? Or why don't you do this and extreme things? To me, my life revolves around love. Love is the most important part of life, as cheesy as that sounds, to me. And I feel that we could have every item, anything, we could do anything in the world. But when it comes down to it, what you have at the end of the day, your significant other, your family, that is what counts in life. And I would give everything I have for my family. That's the truth right there. So I would spend my day with my family. I would go see all of my relatives. I would just be with them, surround myself by my loved ones, and just tell them how much I love them and spend time with them, have dinner with them. It would just be a nice day. I think that's probably what I would want if it were the last day I had on this earth.
What advice would you give to a young YouTuber?
This is a tricky question for me, because you need to understand something when you're a YouTuber. You don't do YouTube when you start as a job. That's not why you start YouTube. You start YouTube as a passion. You start YouTube doing something you love and something you can see yourself doing for a long time. And the reason I say that is because people like Phil DeFranco, Shane Dawson, Tobuscus even, they probably didn't start YouTube to be successful. Obviously, we all want to be successful on YouTube, but that's probably not why they started. They probably started because they were bored, or they were wanting just to communicate with the world and get their opinions out there. That's how you have to start. If you don't start that way and you just want to make money, it will not happen. You will not make money on YouTube, simply because you have to do something you are so passionate about that it will get across to multiple platforms, multiple people. Or you will dislike your job, you won't get good content out, you won't put effort into it. If you want to start out on YouTube, make sure you're putting out content that you enjoy and that you can see yourself doing multiple years into the future. Because if you're not, it's not going to be successful with where you're going. So look at YouTube as fun, not a job. Know that making money on YouTube, if that's what you're trying to do is make money, it is not easy. Making money on YouTube. You have to have multiple, I would say at least 30,000 to 50,000 subscribers around there to even be making a living on YouTube. Just because it is very difficult to make money. You don't make a lot of money doing it. The only way you can is if you have a huge audience and if you're on multiple platforms and you're doing well for yourself. That's pretty much how you make a living. So don't think that YouTube, this is going to be my career and that's what I'm doing. You have to start somewhere. So start somewhere you love.
Where do you get your replica beats?
I get my replica beats from dhgate.com. I've answered this question a number of times, and it's in all of my Beats by Dre videos. And I get people coming over here asking me questions that I do answer in my reviews, and I'm pretty sure any other reviewer watching this right now feels my pain. They get asked questions even though they work really hard putting together a video, and you try to answer as many of the questions you do in it, but they don't seem to hear it for whatever reason, or they just didn't watch the whole review, and then they ask you. But yeah, I do get my beats from dhgate.com. Again, I say in my videos and stuff, if you want to know my seller or whatnot, PM me. Just because if I give you guys the link, if I put it in that's why I don't put the link in the description, is because DHgate has a policy that if you're on a different IP address, it doesn't let you access that site. So I could copy and paste the site. You guys click on it, it'll take you to a page error. It will not go to the product in which I'm trying to show. And that's a DHgate thing. That's not a YouTube thing. That's not a me thing. It is a DHgate policy thing. So I can only give you a page to the store. That's all I can do for you guys. And if it's up on YouTube and multiple people are going to it, it will change. Like, I constantly have to update the link and make sure it works, or you guys won't be able to view the headphones. So it's important that you PM me and I will give you the information, and if that doesn't work, then I will get an updated version of it and PM you that. So that's pretty much how I do that for you guys. How did you do, or how well do you think you did on your narrative? You guys are so sweet, wishing me luck on my narrative and stuff. From what I know, it went all right. I don't think I failed. I don't think I did poorly, because he spoke about a few of them, and mine was one of the ones that he did pick up to talk about, so that's good. And he gave me advice on it. He said things that I could have improved, which is great. I don't want to have a perfect piece of artwork. And if there are any artists in my audience, you guys know, or know, if you don't know, you don't want to have a perfect piece of artwork. Because if you can't look back on something and say, I could have changed that, in my opinion, you may as well be dead. Because really, as an artist, you just want to continue growing and growing. And as you get older, you learn new things, and you will always want to go back and correct your artwork. So I'm glad that he gave me advice on what I did wrong, so I know what to do different in the future. And I did make a couple mistakes that I did not realize when I was working on it. My original roughs, there weren't those mistakes in them. But the advice, like on one of them, was a spread, because it's for a book. And it had to have a bleed. And if you guys don't know, it's very confusing, a bleed. It was even confusing for me because I've never really done anything with a bleed. But if you go out to Chapters or whatever, or I don't know, is there another bookstore? Chapters seems to be the biggest bookstore. I don't know if in the States. I think so. It's in the States. But you go into the children's section and you open up a book and you look inside it and you look at the pictures and whatnot. And it goes across the whole entire thing. That is a spread. And a bleed, if the image actually goes to the edge, the initial artwork had a bleed. And what that is they add a ½ inch to the picture and they just extend it so that when it's printing across the picture, you don't get an irritating white border or brown border or just whatever border they have, black border even, on their page, so that it works out well for you guys. That's what a bleed was. And my bleed was fine and everything. But he told me to crop, so I had my design for my spread that was this big. And he told me to bring the picture in like this, but expand it out. And when I did that, part of my character's nose went into where the crease is going to go on the spread. So I screwed that up big time. Hopefully I don't lose a ton of marks for that. I don't think so. But he did like my initial ideas, and he liked my materials I used to actually get the work done. So, and my initial drawings is what he really liked. So that's good too. I think I'm at least coming out of it with like a B+, A- around there. So thanks for asking. Means a lot that you guys care so much about my artwork and what's going on in my life. So that about sums up my Q&A for this week, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully by the time this is up, I will have some type of an Etsy store up for you guys, so you can go head on over there, be one of the first people to order my designs for you. I will probably have a bundled package up there that will include 3 of your favorite doodles that you can choose for yourself, whatever 3 you want, and it would probably be around $24.99 around there, because I'm thinking about selling my my actual artwork for around $12 or $11.99, just so I can pay for shipping and all that for you guys. So getting 3 for $25 is a pretty good deal, and it will help me out a ton if you guys go and purchase stuff over there, especially for Christmas. And it would be so cool to see you guys even doing videos and responding to my videos and stuff, showing me that you have a Techie Jess wall or something like that of all the artwork I've done in the past. It would mean the world to me. So guys, without further ado, thanks for watching, and toodles! One last thing, Techyarmy, please, for the love of cheesies and Doritos and Mountain Dew and everything that is tasty, will you please don't comment and tell me to message you. If you're commenting, why don't you just send me a message? Got to be the biggest freaking YouTube pet peeve I have at this particular moment in time. Don't comment and tell me to message you. Message me right away. It's so much faster. Please.